Hey everybody, and welcome back. Now we're going to get into how we do the swing through the impact area at Golf Lesson Academy. So it's real simple, it's a little bit different, but it's really maximizing our body and how the proper movements need to take place. Okay, so when we get set up, we're here, we're at the top, we've made our first move. Now watch this. As we're coming down, see how that happens? Everything is right there. See how much I'm up on my foot here? See how much more of my butt that you can see? And this move has actually put me on the side of my body to where I can make a really good motion. Now you might be sitting there saying, well golly, they teach the modern swing to where it gets here and the hands get back in front of the body. Well, let me ask you a question. If I took a baseball and I was going to throw a baseball, I would throw it like this, right? So let me show you what that looks like from this way. If I came here and I was going to throw it, see how the elbow is in front of the hand, right? But the way that they're teaching you to do it in the modern golf swing is they get here. So it's almost like I'm throwing a baseball like this, to where the hand and the wrist and the arm and the shoulder are all in this line, and it's kind of like, how am I going to throw it that way? So they're saying get here like this, which is really going to be this motion in front of me. But what we have to realize, in order to throw that ball any distance, my elbow has to lead the way. And the beautiful part about it is, when I throw it, you can see how I am on the side of my body. If I had a hockey stick, right, and I was going to hit the puck, boom, I would be on the side of my body. I would not be in front of my body. So if I try to keep it in front of my body from here, I'm not gonna, there's not a whole lot of power that's gonna happen to that. A football player, he gets back, he's like this, a quarterback, and he throws it. Where is he at? He is on the side of his body. A tennis player, here comes the serve, they go to hit it, boom, they're on the side of their body. For some reason, people, they don't understand that they have to be on the side of their body when they come through to impact, because that is the most athletic position possible. We can learn from the baseball player. He's up, he's ready to swing, right? He starts to swing. Where's he at? He's on the side of his body. And even the baseball player, see how you can see the bottom of the triangle before they release it? We've got to keep those same principles in mind when we understand the athleticism that we are applying to the golf swing. It's no different than any other athletic movement that the body's capable of making. So here we go. Ready? When we get set up, we're like this. We're at the top. Now we're going to make our first move. Now as we make this move, it's really happening with the turning of the hips. So we're here, right? We've done this move like this. Now we're just continuing to drive everything to the ball, and it's this little bit of watch my foot as it turns. The heel goes this way to you like this, because it allows me to pivot off of this ball joint to get my hip to snap right at that last second. What I mean by snap, it won't snap, but it feels like that, because once I get to the top and I start coming down and we make this move, we at this point have everything going this way too. But now all of a sudden our body starts to rotate or shift, letting the heel, the lever of the ankle, allows us to come this way, and boom, we bring everything through. Now watch how incredible this gets, okay? Remember how everybody says that, okay, well, supination and all the stuff that Hogan used to talk about, the angle that you will get. And if you look at the angle in my hand here, how it's kind of bowed, this is down, and it's the turning of my body. Look how far this club is. We've all seen, what's it called, that swing setter or whatever, or the club that teaches you to hit down on the ball with the forward shaft angle and all those things. I mean, that's really great stuff, but the reality is you just have no idea why. I mean, it looks good. The guy's telling you hit down on the ball and blah, 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 and the forward shaft lean, and it's kind of like, he sold a lot of those clubs. But the reality is, the reason he sold them is because people just don't understand why and how this has to happen. Now, I'm a firm believer that you could probably go out and use that club, and you know you're going to get some good results, because you're not going to hit the ball unless you get it to come forward, the shaft. But here's why. If you start to understand why the shaft has to lean forward, it's not that it has to, it's just because of the way that we move the club, it has no choice but to. See the difference? Where most people in the golf swing, they get like this, and see how the shaft is kind of even. The head's actually in front of it right now, and that's no good. It's because they're releasing from the top. But when you start to move this thing correctly and you get your body into a position, I mean, look how much that shaft is leaning in front of me. I've got that nice kind of bowed look, and I'll show you from right here. Once we get here like this and I make this move, I mean, look how I'm on the side of my body right here. And my belt buckle isn't pointing out here where most people are. It's like this. And it is now parallel to the flight line of the golf ball, because I'm now taking this thing right where I want to go, which is right to my target line, which is why we hit the ball so straight. Because it's this, where we get our power is all of a sudden, we get here, we made our move, we're starting to turn. See how you can see the bottom of the triangle here? It's facing this way. It's not coming this way and then getting to where the triangle is pointing back in front of me, right? Because see the position of my hips here? They're not as open as that. And then, you know, that's not good. So it causes everything to go to the right in the traditional golf swing. But the way we do it, we're at the top, we made our move, here comes everything. Look at this. I mean, you can see right now where the shaft back here is splitting the center of my hands. And this club is just dropping, coming, and now all of a sudden it's this wham, this turn of the body, or the shift of the body back to the left, that now allows this club head to go from way back here to wham, right to the ball, and then it's just naturally going to pull us through. So the athleticism that we use in this is just mind-boggling to how much it is the body that controls the golf swing and not the club head. A lot of people, they think, okay, well, if I can just get this club on plane and keep it on plane, well, that's not a good idea, because most people have no idea what a plane is. They have an idea that says, where Hogan used to talk about, it's the shoulder plane. Well, what Hogan really said was that he wants to imagine on his downswing that he is staying underneath this pane of glass. He didn't say to go back to the top of my backswing and all these different things, but if you look at some of his old footage, he pretty much stays under this pane of glass. That's all he was giving it reference to. Because when he came to the top, most people would go this way, they're going to break the pane of glass. So what he did, or you could think about, is he's got to stay under the pane of glass. Now see how that club drops? It doesn't go this way. But if you take it a step further, how we get to in the transition, we are way under that pane of glass, because here's the pane of glass, here's where we're at. It stays right on. Now right when we're here, watch what happens. All of a sudden it goes boom, just like that, on the side of the body. And because of the fact that we have set our wrist like this and forward, this and forward, as we're coming through, watch what happens. So remember, this is the way we've set our wrist. So we've gone around the body, we've gone up, we've gone down, we've got the tray. Now watch this move. As we start coming down, watch the wrist. Bam! Gets totally extended. So it's just kind of like it just goes boom, and because of that, it's letting me feel like I'm throwing this thing off the side of my body. Like Ben Hogan used to say, it's in his book, if you read the was it the 5 lessons? Then basically he talks about in that book how he feels like he's skipping a rock right on the side of the body. Well, right off of the side of the body. But what that's like is, where people don't understand, is the elbow, like in the baseball player is here, the elbow, when I skip the rock for any power, is in front of the hands. So I just take it, the elbow leads the way, and I skip the rock through. Pretty simple stuff if you know what you're looking at. So when we get here, what's the best angle to do it? We get here, we're like this. Now watch this. See how much this elbow is leading the way of the hands. Now all of a sudden it's turning. Look at that. At this point, they still haven't released. See how you can see my palm of my hand from here? Now all of a sudden my palm just goes whoop, squared up. It's right there. I put my hand back on, and I'm on the side of my body, and all of a sudden the next thing you know, I just whoop, right into a perfect balanced position. And that's where we're going to go to next when we learn how to go from here all the way up to the top. It's really pretty easy stuff. I hope you're having a good time with all these living room lessons, and we'll be right back.